Join Kids Hat family.
Tia, I'm really hungry. What's for lunch?
Come, Tofu. Mom has made your favorite meal today.
My favorite? Yum! Oh Tia, something got stuck in my throat.
How many times have I told you not to eat in such a hurry?
But I was hungry, Tia.
You need to listen to this story. The Goose That Laid Golden Eggs. Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a poor farmer with his wife. They had nothing but a little farm where they grew vegetables that they could eat. However, he managed to save a little money each time he sold vegetables from his farm. Eventually, he saved up enough money to buy a goose. He took it home and made a nest for it to lay eggs. The goose will produce eggs which he could use for selling, eating, and making bread, thought the farmer. The next morning, when he went to gather some eggs for his breakfast, he lifted the goose, and to his surprise, the goose had laid a golden egg. The next morning, he found another egg, and the next, and the next. Slowly and steadily, the farmer and his wife were becoming richer and richer. Just think, if we could have all the golden eggs that are inside the goose, we could be richer much faster.
You're right. We wouldn't have to wait for the goose to lay her egg every day.
So the couple killed the goose and cut her open. Only to find that she was just like every other goose. She had no golden eggs inside of her at all, and they had no more golden eggs. Alas, now the farmer and his wife had lost the goose, and they would never get any golden eggs again. So Tofu, just like the couple suffered because they were greedy, you should be careful too, because too much greed always leads to great loss.
Oh, got it, Tia. I'll be careful next time. Tia, you recite so many stories to me that are full of morals, but you have never recited your favorite story to me. Which one is it?
Tofu, that's true. I haven't yet recited my favorite story to you. Would you want to listen to one of my favorite stories?
Yeah.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a widow with her only son, named Jack. Their times were really hard, and they were living in poverty for long. Jack was too young to work and earn money. All their house furniture and other belongings were sold off to carry on with their basic daily needs. Until at last they were left with a cow, who used to give milk every day, and that they used to sell off in the market to buy bread. One day, the poor old cow didn't give any milk. That's when Jack suggested his mother,
I think we should sell off this cow and get a good return in bargain.
So Jack left to sell off the cow in the market. On the way, he met a butcher.
Oh, where are you going, Jack?
I'm going to the market to sell off this cow for a good bargain.
Oh, why take the trouble to go that far? I have a very good deal for you.
He took out 5 strange-looking beans from his pocket and handed them to Jack. Jack looked little hazed as to what kind of good bargain it is.
Oh my God! They are so beautiful. What do you call these?
Beans, magical beans. If you plant them overnight, by the next morning, they will grow up and reach the sky.
Wow! Mother would be so happy to see them. Thank you, Mr. Butcher.
And off went Jack happily to his mother and showed her the magical beans. But to his disappointment, she only got angry at him and shouted,
Off you go to bed right away.
She threw the beans outside the kitchen window and into the backyard and went off to her bed, crying and weeping. The next morning, when Jack woke up, he saw outside his window, and to his surprise, he saw a great beanstalk reaching up to the sky.
Oh my God! This beanstalk is so huge! I need to climb this up to see where it leads to.
He climbed up and up and up till his home looked a mere spot on the ground. At last, the stalk ended and Jack found himself in a completely different place. But suddenly, a beautiful lady appeared and said,
Hello, Jack. You don't know me, but I know you and everything about you. The castle you see there belongs to a giant who stole all your father's money and killed him. Your mother had kept this secret from you to protect you. He owes you, Jack.
The lady disappeared in thin air. Jack kept standing there and thinking,
He surely owes me and my family.
Far away, where the road ended, he could see a huge castle. He went up to the castle and knocked on the huge door. A giant woman opened the door. She looked scary and howled at Jack. "What do you want?"
If you please, ma'am, would you kindly give me some breakfast? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
The giant woman, though looked cruel and ugly, had a kind heart and offered Jack a huge plate of English breakfast, but warned him, "You must finish quickly before my giant husband comes back and eats you." Then suddenly there was a huge knock on the door, and the wife picked up Jack and hid him in a huge empty kettle. As the door opened, the giant entered and roared,
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
"Nonsense! You're mistaken. It's the ox hide you smell. So he sat down at the table and ate the ox that his wife had served him as breakfast. After he finished, he asked his wife,
Get me my money bags.
He started counting his money, but he was so sleepy that he slept on the table. The whole room was roaring with his snore. Jack, taking an opportunity of this time, got out of the kettle, picked up the money bags and ran towards the door. Before the giant woke up, he climbed down the beanstalk and to his cottage and did not look back even once. He took a sigh of relief and ran to his mother.
Mother, look what I got. We are rich now.
The mother and the son lived quite comfortably. Till one afternoon, when his mother was away, he decided to go up to the giant's castle and see what was happening there. So he climbed up the beanstalk and reached the castle. There, standing at the door, he saw the giant's wife again. But she didn't recognize him because he was dressed impeccably this time.
If you please, ma'am,
He said,
will you give me some breakfast?
Run away, you little boy. Last time a boy came, he stole my husband's money bags.
But since she was kind-hearted, she offered Jack breakfast. At that very moment, the giant knocked on the door and quickly she hid Jack in the oven. The giant entered and roared.
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giant's wife once again assured him that he is mistaken and offered him his huge breakfast to eat. After eating his food, he asked his wife,
Get me my golden hen.
The wife got the hen and the giant roared in his voice.
Lay!
That very moment, the hen laid a golden egg, and Jack was left amazed with what he saw. No sooner he saw the giant slipping into his deep sleep, and once again he came out of the oven, picked up the hen, and ran for the door. In the meanwhile, the hen began to cackle. The voice made the giant move a little, but he kept sleeping. Jack climbed down the stalk and went straight to his mother and gave her the golden hen. The mother and the boy were so rich that they had money greater than even what they could spend. One day, he was sitting idle. The thought of the beanstalk crossed his mind again, and he decided to climb it. No sooner he was at the castle, but this time he decided not to be seen and climbed the kitchen wall of the castle and hid himself in the oven. In came the giant, roaring louder than ever.
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giantess was quite sure that she had seen no little boy that morning, and after grumbling a great deal, the giant sat down for breakfast. As soon as he got over with his breakfast, he called out to his wife,
Bring me my harp. Sing!
ordered the giant. Soon the harp started singing the most beautiful sounds ever heard, and no sooner the giant fell off into his deep sleep. Jack, who was waiting for this moment, got out of the oven and climbed the table to grab the harp. But as soon as he started running off with it, the harp started shouting, "Master! Master!" The giant woke up just in time to catch the sight of Jack running out of the kitchen door. With a fearful roar, he saw Jack running with the harp and dashed after him. Little Jack ran as fast as he could, while holding the harp tightly in his hands. The giant, taking terribly long strides, gained on Jack, and he would have been caught if Giant had not slipped over a boulder. Before he could pick himself up, Jack began to climb down the beanstalk, and when the giant arrived at the edge, he was nearly halfway to the cottage. The giant began to climb down too, but as soon as Jack saw him coming, he called out, "Mother, bring an axe!" The widow hurried out with the chopper. Jack had no sooner reached the ground than he cut the beanstalk right in two. Down came the giant with a terrible crash, and that, you may be sure, was the end of him. But the mother had a very important advice for Jack.
Jack, what the giant did to your father was bad. But you should not have been so greedy. He reaped what he sowed, but greed is also a bad deed.
Jack agreed to his mother and promised to never be greedy again, and they lived happily ever after.
Wow, Tia, that was such an adventurous story.
Yeah, Tofu, and do you know why it was my favorite story?
No? Tell me.
The story was about a brave boy who wanted to fight against poverty, and in a way, he got a chance to take revenge of his father too. But in the process, he forgot that harming the giant again and again was not ethical, and stealing from the giant's house was also against his morals.
Oh, that's quite a heavy thought for my little brain.
Ha ha ha! Let's go. We are late for dinner. Mom must be waiting.
Good night, Tia.
Good night, Tofu. Once upon a time, there lived a lonely couple who only wished to have a child. They lived in a little house all on their own. At the back of the house, there was a small little window from which a splendid garden could be seen. This garden was full of very beautiful flowers and herbs. No one dared to enter the garden as it belonged to a witch named Dame Gothel. One day, the woman saw a plant called rampion, which is used to make salads. Dear husband, I have a strong desire to have a salad made out of that plant.
Oh, but that belongs to the wicked witch.
Oh, please do something. I really want to eat those rampions.
Okay, dear, I will try to get it for you.
At midnight, the husband climbed the wall into the garden of the witch and started taking some rampions. The man took the rampion and his wife made a salad out of it and ate it. But the very same night, there was a knock on the door, and the man knew something was wrong.
How dare you, human! Come into my garden and steal my rampions like a thief. You will suffer for it.
Oh, please forgive me. My wife saw your rampions from the window and she wanted it so bad that I could not say no to her.
Oh, if that's the truth, then I will let you have as many rampions as your wife wants, but only on one condition.
What is that condition?
You must give me the child which your wife will bring into this world.
The man, in his terror, consented to everything. As time passed by, the couple gave birth to a beautiful little baby girl. But that very same night, the witch came to their door and took away the baby girl, leaving the poor parents in complete sorrow.
You are such a beautiful looking girl. I will name you Rapunzel and take care of you. Ha 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 ha.
The witch kept her locked in a tower with no doors and stairs, but just a small little window. As the time passed by, Rapunzel grew into a beautiful girl with very long golden locks. But her beauty went in vain because the cruel witch never allowed her to go anywhere. Sad Rapunzel just used to stand at the little window and sing sad songs. When the witch had to visit Rapunzel, she used to ask Rapunzel to let down her hair.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me.
One day, when Rapunzel was standing at the window singing sad songs, la la la, a very handsome prince was passing by. He stopped and looked here and there to see where this beautiful voice was coming from. La la la.
Oh, what a beautiful song! Who is singing so beautifully?
The prince noticed the beautiful voice coming from the tower. He wanted to climb the tower and looked for the door, but could not find one. He went back home in dismay. But Rapunzel's singing had touched his heart so much that every day he started going to the forest to listen to Rapunzel's songs. One day, he was standing behind the tree when he saw the witch coming. And he heard what she said.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me.
Then Rapunzel let down her long, beautiful hair. And the witch climbed up the tower.
Oh, that's the way to climb up to the tower. I shall do the same.
The next day, when it began to grow dark, he went to the tower.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let your hair down to me.
Immediately the hair fell down and the prince climbed up.
you?
Oh Lord, you are the most beautiful maiden that I have ever seen in my life. I have lost my heart to you. Will you marry me? Will you be my wife and live with me in my kingdom?
Oh, my prince, I wish that was possible. But the witch won't let me go out of this tower. And if she comes to know about you, she will kill you.
I don't care. You are coming with me now. Come on, let's go.
Oh, prince, I am ready to go away with you. But I do not know how to get down. If I let down my hair, then how will I get down?
You are right.
You have to go now. The witch will come soon.
Yes, don't worry, Rapunzel. I will think of something and come back tomorrow.
That moment, when the prince was climbing down the tower, the witch saw him.
Oh, so he wants to take Rapunzel away. They both will have to pay for this.
The witch climbed the tower after asking Rapunzel to let down her hair.
You treacherous girl! How could you even think of betraying me? You shall pay for this.
The witch took a big pair of scissors and chopped off her long, beautiful tresses. Rapunzel was left all alone in the desert by the witch to live in grief and misery. Meanwhile, the prince returned the next evening to take Rapunzel away.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
The wicked witch let down the long braid that she had chopped off from Rapunzel's hair, and the prince climbed the tower without knowing what danger was awaiting him. When the prince was about to enter the window, the wicked witch chopped off the braid just to see the prince fall off the tower into the thorny bushes under the tower. The prince started bleeding from his eyes as the thorns blinded him completely. The witch cast a spell on the prince, and he wandered in woods around the world without any sight and survived in poor conditions. Meanwhile, the prince roamed about in misery for 2 years, and finally he got to the desert where Rapunzel was left by the witch.
La la la.
He suddenly heard the beautiful, sad voice of his beloved and started shouting in excitement.
That voice! That voice! Is it you, Rapunzel? Is it really you?
He went towards it, and when he approached, Rapunzel said,
Oh, prince, you finally found me. I missed you so much. I am so happy to see you that I can't stop crying.
2 of her tears fell on his eyes, and they grew clear again, and he could see with them as before.
I can see again. Oh, my sweet Rapunzel, what have they done to us? Let's go back to my kingdom.
He took her to his kingdom. After a year, Rapunzel gave birth to a pretty little baby girl who looked just like her, and they lived happily ever after. Get up, Tofu, or you'll get late for school. Get up, Tofu.
Tia, you?
What happened?
That was...
Yeah, I know. That was me in your dream. Now get up and get ready. What are you trying to do, Tofu?
I am trying to pluck mangoes from this tree, but the effort is going useless.
That's because the mangoes are too far away and the stones are too heavy.
Then what should I do, Tia? I really want those mangoes.
Let me tell you a story. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there was a mama pig and 3 little pigs. One day, Mama Pig said to them,
You are old enough to build your own houses.
The first pig built a house of straw. He said,
Now the wolf can't come and catch me and eat me.
The second pig built his house with sticks, stronger than the first pig's house. He said,
Now the wolf can't come and catch me and eat me.
The third pig built his house with bricks, stronger than the second pig's house. He said,
Now the wolf can't come and catch me and eat me.
Next day, the wolf came to the house made of straw. The wolf knocked at the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
I will not let you come in, said the little pig.
Then I will huff and puff and blow your house away,
said the wolf. So he huffed and puffed. The house of straw fell down, and the wolf ate up the first little pig. Next day, the wolf came to the house made of sticks. He knocked at the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
I will not let you come in, said the little pig.
Then I will huff and puff and blow your house away,
said the wolf. So he huffed and puffed and blew the house away. The house of sticks fell down, and the wolf ate up the second little pig. Next day, the wolf came to the house made of bricks.
Little pig, let me come in.
I will not let you come in, said the little pig.
Then I will huff and puff and blow your house away,
said the wolf. The big bad wolf tried to huff and puff and blow the house down. But he couldn't. He kept trying for hours, but the house was very strong. He tried to enter through the chimney, but the clever third little pig boiled a big pot of water and kept it below the chimney. The wolf fell into it and died. So, the way the third wise pig managed to escape from the wolf without using weapons, but through his wisdom, would you be able to do the same? Tofu, I think you should help the poor dog.
Why, Tia?
Wait, I'll explain this to you through a story. The Lion and the Mouse. One day, a lion was sleeping in his den. A mouse was also playing nearby. Little Mouse began running up and down upon him. This soon wakened the lion. Angry at the little mouse, the lion caught the mouse and said,
You little mouse, how dare you wake me? I will kill you.
The mouse was frightened and prayed to the lion.
Pardon, O king. Please do not kill me. I am a little creature. Please let me go, and I will do you a good return one day for sparing my life.
The lion was rather amused to hear this, thinking, What good can he do to me? But let him go. A few days after, the lion was walking in a jungle. He found himself caught in a hunter's net. He roared and rolled to get out of the net, but he failed. The lion was pleading for help.
Help me, help me.
The mouse, whose life was saved by the lion, heard the roar and ran to the lion and said,
Don't worry, my friend. I will save you.
The mouse gathered all his friends and told them,
We all have to help my friend and set him free.
The mouse and his friends cut through the net and set the lion free. The lion escaped and thanked the mouse. And from that day, they became the best of friends. Like the little mouse and lion had become friends and in the end helped each other, you should help this dog too. Because a friend in need is a friend indeed. Tofu? Were you eating those cookies that Mum had asked you to have only after dinner?
No, Tia, I wasn't. I just came in the kitchen to drink water.
Tofu, do you know something? A lie is not fruitful.
How, Tia?
Come, I have a moral to teach you today. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Once upon a time, there lived a shepherd boy who took care of the sheep in the village. He was very dedicated to his work. Every day, he used to take the herd of sheep to the top of the hill and bring them down by evening. But one day, he felt really bored.
I am feeling so bored. All the villagers work together, but here I am, all alone, taking care of the sheep and no one else to talk to. What should I do?
Suddenly, he had an idea, a wicked one. He went over the edge of the hill and started shouting,
Help! Help! There is a wolf! He is going to eat all our sheep! Help!
hearing the boy cry out for help, all the villagers came to the top of the hill to save the sheep. But reaching there, all they could see were calm sheep grazing the grassland.
You silly boy, where is the wolf? Why did you cry out for help?
The villagers were very angry and left the place cursing the shepherd boy.
This was so much fun.
Next day, the shepherd boy was back again to the routine of taking the sheep for grazing. And yet again, he found himself completely bored.
Let's try that prank again.
The boy again went to the hilltop and started shouting.
Help! Help! There is a wolf! He's gonna eat all our sheep! Help!
Once again, the villagers, after hearing the boy cry out for help, ran to save the sheep. But once again came back after being fooled by the boy.
This is not right. You would have to pay for this one day.
With no regrets on his face, the shepherd boy went back to his sheep. One day, when he was lying under the tree while his sheep were grazing, he saw some sheep running here and there. After looking closely, he saw a wolf approaching the herd. The boy suddenly ran to the edge of the hill and started screaming for help.
Help! Help! There is a wolf for real this time. He's gonna eat all our sheep. Help! Please help!
This time, the villagers didn't pay any heed to the boy screaming.
Let's leave him. This time too he might be playing a prank on us.
The boy kept on crying for help, but no one turned up this time. All he could do was stand there and watch his sheep getting killed by the wolf.
Oh, I should have not played that prank with the villagers. Nobody believed me when the wolf actually turned up. What should I do now? I have lost all my sheep.
The shepherd boy was never trusted ever by anyone.
I am sorry, Tia. I did lie about those cookies, and now I learned a lesson too. Liars are not believed even when they speak the truth. I won't ever lie again.
Good, Tofu. You are a good boy.
Tia, where are you?
I am here, Tofu. What happened?
Tia, you keep on teaching me new morals through different stories. Today I'll tell you a story that our teacher taught us in class.
Oh, really? I'm so eager to listen to it. The Dog and the Bone. Once upon a time, in the dark alleys of a small village, there lived a dog. He was a stray dog who had to live on anything that he found on the streets, in the bins, or at the mercy of the people who would feed him every now and then. One day, while passing by a butcher's shop, he saw that there was no one to attend the shop. He entered the shop and his eyes popped out when he saw juicy chicken, lamb, pork, and turkey hanging. It was far from his reach, so he went around the cabinets to look for something.
I hope I could find something to eat here.
He went around sniffing and looking for it, and suddenly he saw a juicy big bone. He started drooling and said,
My day is made. This would surely fill up my tummy.
He bounced at it and grabbed it in his mouth. I'll eat this juicy bone in a quiet place where no one else would be able to take it away from me. So the lean dog very happily took the bone and looked for a secluded place. He crossed the village and entered the woods. While he was trying to cross a river, he stopped and looked at his reflection in the river. He was quite surprised at what he saw. He saw his own reflection and thought,
Oh my God, there is another dog with an equally juicy bone. It looks yum too.
I got to have that bone as well. And the moment the greedy dog decided to bark at the other dog, the bone fell in the river.
Oh, what have I done? It was my reflection in the water, and the greed made me lose my bone too.
He went away in sorrow, with surely a lesson to be learned. Wow, Tofu! That surely was a beautiful story. So what do you think is the moral of the story?
Being greedy is not good because a bird in hand is worth 3 in the bush. I just don't feel like studying. Let's go out and play.
Tofu, exams are just round the corner. Don't you think we should prepare for them first and then play?
But Tia, they are still 2 months away. We can enjoy now and study later.
What if we are not able to study then? Because of some uncertain circumstances?
Why? What would happen then?
You never know what tomorrow has in store for you, Tofu. So one should always be prepared for future. Wait, I have a little story to tell you, and this would cheer you up too. The Ant and the Grasshopper. Ha 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 ha. Why are you working so hard? The Almighty has provided us with food on every tree out here. Why work so much? Just eat and relax and have fun like the way I am doing. Stop working like those dumb ants. Come on, let's play together and feast on the food.
grasshopper. The food that you're enjoying today will not last for long. Please realize that.
Well, where is so much food gonna go? Sure, it's gonna be here forever.
Once the winters arrive, you will know how difficult it would get to gather food. So save today so that you don't starve in winters.
Oh, winters have long time to come. Till then, let's all play and dance and feast on food. Hungry and helpless and tired. I haven't eaten anything in days.
Did the grasshopper die of hunger? Oh my God, he should have listened to the queen ant. Come on, Tia, tell me what happened next.
Feeling better?
Yes, I am. Thanks for all the help, and I think I have a lesson to learn now. Had I listened to you back then, I wouldn't be so miserably homeless and hungry now.
The grasshopper learned a lesson the hard way.
Yes, Tofu, but do you know what lesson he learned?
Yes, work today and you can reap the benefits tomorrow.
You are intelligent, Tofu. Now let's study today and reap benefits of our hard work tomorrow.
Tia, I guess we have come too far from our camp. When will we go back? I'm feeling hungry.
It will take some time, Tofu.
Those berries look yum. I think I can treat on them for the time being.
Tofu, stop! Do you even know what those berries are about?
They look yum to me. That is all I know.
But they can be poisonous. You are in the middle of a jungle.
Poisonous?
Come, let me tell you a story on our way back to the camp. On a long sunny day, there was a fox walking in a desert. Hungry and thirsty, all that he could see was miles of sand and barren rocks.
Oh, it is so hot. I need water badly.
He kept on walking and suddenly he saw a well.
Thank God. I finally found a well. Now I will no longer be thirsty.
He ran and ran in great excitement. The moment he leaped on the well's wall to check water, he lost his balance and fell in the well.
Help! Help! Somebody, please help me! This well is really deep. How would I ever get out of this place?
Nearby, a goat was passing the well. When she heard the fox, she went to peep over the well.
Hey, Fox! What are you doing inside this well?
Oh, goat! Isn't it too hot outside? I just came into this well to cool myself off. Why don't you also hop in and enjoy this cool and refreshing water?
Not even thinking for a second, the goat jumped into the well.
Hey, Fox! You were right. This water is actually very refreshing. I could spend all my day out here.
After some time, the goat stops and asks the fox,
Wait a second. How in the world will we manage to get out of this well?
Oh, it's going to be simple. If you stand on your 2 feet and push me up, I can manage to reach to the top of the well and then pop out of the well.
The goat, once again, without thinking twice, does as the fox said.
Hey, Fox! What about me? How would I get out?
Ha 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 ha. I guess you have to think about it on your own.
But I helped you getting out of the well. Who asked you to? You should have thought about the consequences before taking any actions.
So one should look before one leaps.
Yeah, Tofu, always. Because you never know what danger you might get into. And those wild berries, they might have been harmful for you.
Yeah, dear. One should always check before taking a step further.
Look, there is our camp. And I can already smell the dinner is ready.
Yay! Let's go! Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race.
What happened, Tofu? What is it that you're thinking?
Yes, dear. I am not able to understand how can a person win the race if he's slow and yet steady?
There is a very famous story behind this. Should I tell you that first?
Sure.
The Hare and the Tortoise. Long ago, in a forest, a small get-together of animals was taking place.
You know what? I can beat anyone in this forest. Nobody can beat me in a race.
Yes, I have seen him running. I bet he can beat anyone in this forest.
Suddenly, from the crowd, they hear somebody laughing.
Why are you laughing? You think you can beat me in a race?
I may not disagree with you, oh Mr. Hare. But I might not deny that I have no fear of competing with you.
Oh really? So let's have a race and let's see who wins.
So one fine sunny day, all the animals gathered for the race. Everybody was sure that the hare is gonna be a clear-cut winner.
May the best man win.
And that is me.
Said the hare proudly.
Now let's go, old man. I'll beat you in a second.
The hare runs so fast that all the things on the path go for a spin. On the other hand, the tortoise is running too, but at such a pace that even snails could pass by him easily. Suddenly, the hare stops and looks behind. Oh my lord! That tortoise is gonna take ages to reach this point. So let's just stop here and take some rest. By the time he reaches here, I would get good rest and then cover him up in a blink of a second. In the meanwhile, the tortoise slowly and steadily reaches the point where the hare is fast asleep. He very quietly tiptoes past the hare, and the hare is all ignorant of this fact. Suddenly, the hare gets up by the roars of the crowd, cheering up the tortoise. Go, tortoise, go! Go, tortoise! Oh my lord, how is that possible? I kept on sleeping for so long that the tortoise is about to finish the race. He runs and runs and runs. But to his disappointment, the tortoise just manages to finish the race before he could. In the story, the hare was so full of himself. He was overconfident that he would surely beat the tortoise in the race, because he is faster than that poor being in every other way. But the hare underestimated the tortoise and succumbed in his own fake overconfidence. Yes, and that's why only a person who thinks calmly and is not overconfident of himself wins the race in every sphere of life. Proud people can't survive for long. What are you doing, Tofu?
I'm trying to water the plants, but this hose is broken.
Come, let me tell you a short story. The Clever Crow. The Clever Crow. One hot day, a thirsty crow flew all over the fields looking for water. For a long time, he could not find any water. Suddenly, he saw a water jug below the tree. He flew straight down to see if there was any water inside. Yes, he could see some water inside the jug. The crow tried to push his head into the jug. Sadly, he found that the neck of the jug was too narrow.
What should I do? I am really thirsty. How do I drink water?
Then he tried to push the jug to tilt for the water to flow out, but the jug was too heavy. He looked around and saw some pebbles. He suddenly had a good idea. He started picking up the pebbles one by one, dropping each into the jug. As more and more pebbles filled the jug, the water level kept rising. Soon, it was high enough for the crow to drink. His plan had worked. So, like the clever crow was able to find a solution to the problem by thinking and working hard, would you be able to find one to this too?
Thanks, Tia. Oh God! Somebody help me! The insect has bitten me!
Oh God! Come, let me put some ice.
Why did it happen to me?
Let me tell you a story. The Fox and the Stork. Once, a fox and a stork were friends, and the fox invited the stork for dinner.
Dear friend, I wish to invite you for a meal at my home. I will cook a delicious soup for you. I would love to come.
The fox made a delicious soup as promised. The fox was very clever and played a cruel trick. When the stork visited his home that evening, she was given a shallow dish filled with soup. Thus the fox could easily lap up, but the stork could only wet the end of her bill in it.
I have made this delicious soup myself. Enjoy your meal.
Poor stork did not say anything and pretended to enjoy the meal. At the end of the evening, however, the stork went home hungry. 1 week later, the stork invited the fox for lunch at her house.
Dear fox, why don't you come to my house for lunch? I'm cooking fish for the meal,
said the stork.
Thank you, dear stork. I would be happy to come,
said the fox. The stork made delicious fish. When the fox arrived, the stork served the fish in a pitcher. The fox stared hungrily at the food, but he could not taste it. He had a thick snout and couldn't eat from the pitcher. So all he could manage to do was to lick the outside of the pitcher.
Did you enjoy the lunch, my friend? I made it especially for you,
asked the stork with a nasty smile. The fox remembered his cruel trick on the stork and had to confess that the clever stork made him learn a lesson. The stork enjoyed the meal while the fox looked on sheepishly and went home hungry. So Tofu, as the fox did bad to the stork did back to him too, because one bad turn deserves another.
Now I understand.
For your favorite rhymes, stories and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.